So today we're going to study breakouts. Breakouts. So on breakouts, there's a specific criteria that you have to follow, and breakouts usually follow this specific structure. Let me make it bigger. So this is the breakout structure. So you look in the past charts, this could be a weekly chart, this could be a monthly chart, or this can be a daily chart, or this can be an intraday chart. Breakouts still work the same on every time frame. So as you see the stock move into a resistance point and test it, and usually gets rejected and fails and comes back down. And then it may test it 2, 3, 4 times. It's just an area of resistance on the chart where the stock is not getting past. So when it breaks out, you see it break out, and then it goes up a little bit, and then it usually pulls back down to that breakout area. And when it does that, it basically confirms. It's saying that, hey, this previous resistance area is now confirmed as support, and this breakout is a real breakout. And after it tests that support, it usually rises and continues to break out to a new higher day and go on. So that's the structure that we're going to look at today. And we're going to try to find a few different stocks in the session that had breakout structures, and to see how they set up on different time frame charts. So whenever we see a stock chart like this breaking out over a previous resistance level, get my pen out, write this up. We see it breaking out over a previous resistance level on the first big green day. This is the first green day. Even though it had a green day here and here, this is the first green day because it's the first big green day that's bigger than any of the previous candles. And it's also a breakout over these levels. So when I see this, I see really two main opportunities to buy the stock. If you're stalking the stock and it's been on your watch list and you've been watching these levels carefully and you've seen it run up here and run back down, you can be looking for the breakout over this, roughly 22-cent area right here. And as the stock starts breaking out over this high right here, this daily breakout, then it's going to run up. Now, if you miss this, or let's say you're going in the afternoon or whatnot, or going in the morning, missed this, and you came back to the markets in the afternoon, then you should be watching the next reasonable area, the next top. The next top is right here at this 32-cent area, and that would have been another entry. If I bought it at this 20-cent area, I would have probably tried to hold it to about 35 cents. Honestly, I would have probably sold it into that, just knowing that it's the first green day. I probably would have sold half of it and then let the other half ride into the next day and see what happens. It's best to, whenever you have available day trades, to lock in some profits, because it'll give you a cushion on the trade. So if this doesn't open up big tomorrow and it opens up down, let's say it opens up right here and then starts selling off real quick, you're still up from right here and you already locked in some right here. So if you lock in some right here, it's still a good trade. It's like you selling from right here, buying, selling right here, and selling right here. But if you don't lock it in and it starts dropping on you, sometimes your position is too big for how fast the stock is moving. And then you got to, cancel order, put it back in, cancel order, put it back in. Next thing you know, the price can be back down here. So it's always good to lock in profits on the way up, because you never know how fast it goes on the way down. But anywho, here's what I ended up doing. I waited to the end of the day. I didn't find it right here at these levels. I found it more so at this level right here towards the end of the day. This is still a good risk reward trade, because I have this level I can risk off of. If it drops back down under this level, I can cut it, because the breakout is no longer a breakout anymore if it's not over those levels. And what I did was I waited until the end of the day. It had this first move. I didn't chase this move up because I didn't know if it was going to, pull back down and fade off. A lot of times you see spikers spike up and then it'll just fade off all day, or just, consolidate, drop, consolidate, drop. Anyway, sometimes it'll fade off. This one, I let it prove itself. A lot of times, rather than just jumping into the stock on the first spike, it's better to let the stock ride out and do what it's going to do and let it prove to you that it can hold its gains and it can have a potential for another up move. So here's the first spike. And then it's proven to me that, hey, it's holding this 35-cent level. Look at the wicks. Look at it. Nothing crossed the 35-cent level. And it basically consolidated those gains. And, sometimes you see it tighten up. So right now, this is a loose coil. And as it gets to a point before it spikes up, it gets tighter. See how tight it is now? Tight, tight, tight. And then the lows get higher. Lows get higher. The lows get higher. And then it gets to a point where it breaks out over this higher day. And I got in shortly after that breakout right here. And of course, I sold it the next day like at 48 cents or something like that. But it goes to show you that it's a science to it. It's not science, it's an art to it. And if you are able to key in on all of these fundamental levels on the right day, on the right type of stock, it's super predictable.